What about your relationship with money? Just curious to understand. We keep talking about this hedonic treadmill, and I think that's true more so in this time of social media and comparison and looking at other people's lives. How has your relationship been as you started acquiring money, and what would be your advice to your next gen?
See, it's very important to have money. I think we all struggle to make money. It's very difficult to make money in this world, and so it's very thick. But I think in the market, like most of my contemporaries, whom I associate with, we treat money as a way of keeping score. Who's been right, who's been wrong, whose stocks have worked, how much did they buy? Yeah, my son is constantly surprised that despite a level of wealth, we still live pretty frugally. We the same set of friends, we love our idli sambar or whatever. And, we still enjoy each other's company. So we're value investors through and through, not just in picking stocks, but in living life also. So while money is important, I'm not disputing that. And I think because you have that, you become a bit more, relaxed about it. But I think we use it more as a way of keeping score rather than a way of, flaunting it.
And I actually read Morgan Housel's book, and he said that even the richer you become, what matters is still the same thing: family, quality time, and, doing things that you enjoy.
Or an occasional cigar.
Of course, why not? So, what would be, your lessons that you've learned through Mr. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala and Mr. R.K. Damani that you would like to share with us, something that maybe would stay on top of mind?
Well, I think the one thing that they both taught me, two things, Avan, that they taught me. One is that when you have an idea, you have to put money on the table, all right?
Okay.
You have to bet your beliefs. Someone will say, oh, I like this idea, but I'll wait till the market gets better. Boom, you miss the choice, okay? So you have to put money on the table and put it at risk. If it goes down, sar mein kafan bandh diya, theek hai, jaane do. It's okay. I can deal with that loss that can happen. So I think I learned that, and it's incremental. I still haven't learned the lesson the way they play the game. The ability to quickly think and put money on the table, extraordinary achievement of these two gentlemen.
Can you give me an example maybe where you've noticed something or it happened with a particular company or a business?
I'll tell you, there's one particular day with one of these gentlemen, I won't give his name, we were walking during Nariman Point, and I happened to explain to him a company that I liked for whatever reason. It was a brand name. He asked me like 3-4 questions. That means he's already done his work. He asked me 3-4 questions out there. And then he told me, speaking colloquially, he said, okay, Ramesh, buy me 5 lakh shares tomorrow of that company. So I said, fine. And then I called up another broker who was sourced in that company, and I said, I want 5 lakh shares. So he came back to me half an hour later saying, there's a problem that this guy doesn't have 5 lakh shares, but he has 50 lakh shares, and he wants to sell them all in one piece or nothing out there. So I called him, I said, boss, hoga nahi deal, there's no lot available that you want. He says, what's the problem? I said, there's only 50 lakh shares available. He said, okay, close it. That's putting money on the table. He had done his homework and he was willing to bet his convictions on putting, and I've seen that time and time again with these people, that once they make a decision, they're razor fast and they're not scared of losing money. They're always willing to put money on the table. And I've seen this so many times with them. So I realize that's such an important part of being a good investor, is when the time is right, when the stakes are hot, you bet.
Grab it with both hands.
Grab it with both hands, you say. That's correct. The second thing I've learned, watching them for 30, 40 years, is that they've always been bullish on India. I've never seen the markets are volatile, so they will go down. Of course, they'll go down. They understand that. But they know the trend line is up. So no matter what the income tax rates were 90%, no times when Ayodhya happened, no times when we had a financial default, no time when the global financial crisis happened, they always remain bullish in India, and they remain bullish in India. And hence the feeling that as good as the last 30 years have been, the next 30 will be as exciting.
That's something you've definitely picked up or inculcated,
I'm trying. I'm not such a good student, but I try.
Okay. I also want to know, there's a lot of advice out there. There's a lot of information at everyone's fingertips. What do you want to say to, say, a 25-year-old who has made 40% in 2 years? Now he thinks he knows the markets. What do you want to tell him?
I think, as I've often said, nothing to me is sadder than someone who makes 20% when a stock can go up 20x. Okay, and I think that is understanding markets, how markets behave. And I think I would advise them to do that. If you're a 20-year-old in India, you're what we call the ovarian lottery has been born. You're in the right place at the right time. Invest that money, and you'll be surprised that with the magic of compounding and slight help of a bull market, that you can go from middle class livelihood to the moneyed class just through compounding in one generation. That's the opportunity that India is offering us today. And I think young people who are paying attention should grab that opportunity with both hands. It's a difficult business. What did Buffett said? That it's simple but not easy. So you have to, bet on great businesses, let it compound over time. But to find that one great business, you might pick 1 year, 2 years, 3 years of going through balance sheets, con calls, podcasts, visiting companies before you find that nugget that you feel it just cannot be. So when you come to the conclusion that I can't sleep because I don't have this investment, that you're probably onto something. And a second corollary to that, it'll probably be unpopular. When you tell that to your friends or to me or anybody else, we'll probably dismiss it. So unpopular is a good example of something being valued correctly or incorrectly, and you can take advantage of that in the market.
Okay. So what I did is I actually asked, a group of young women and ladies who are not that into the stock markets. I said, I'm going to be interviewing Mr. Damani today. Do you have any questions? And
oh, wow.
I mean, firstly, they were floored and they said, oh my gosh, we can't believe it. But they did, one of them asked that when it comes to intergenerational wealth, is there any advice that you have when it comes to temperament and even maintaining that wealth over generations when it comes to family businesses or even maintaining the wealth in the stock market?
It's a very difficult question, something I'm grappling with. But as you know, I have a young son.
Yeah.
I believe in what the Buffett philosophy is, that give them some, but don't give them so they don't have to work anymore in their life. I think there's a joy in making your own wealth and building your own fortune. I strongly believe in that. And I think more important than giving the wealth, I have to give them the insight, the ropes, the contacts.
Yes.
But
it's so difficult, I feel, to do that with children, especially maybe your grandchildren who have grown up with so much more than you did.
Oh, they have. But I have two amazing grandchildren, Veer and Arna, which I have to mention, give a shout out to them. And we're starting them young. For example, Veer.
Oh, tell me.
Instead of teaching him, A for apple, B for ball, C for, cat, whatever, we taught him ABC through the companies, B for Berkshire, C for Colgate, whatever. So we started him young. Today, he's 8 years old, but he knows Charlie Munger. If he comes to our office, there's a Charlie Munger bust. He goes and does pranam to it. So we taught him young. I think Anna is still 5, so we'll probably teach her also the same things out there. I really feel like you started the introduction that if I teach them compounding, I've taught them to be free for life. So I think both my son and I, Ashok and I, we try early on teaching them the importance of good financial hygiene, good financial habits, and the importance of compounding your wealth over long periods of time. It is one of the most extraordinary insights I've had in my life, is that the minute you understand compounding, it's almost like setting yourself free. You don't have to worry anymore because you know you're going to be rich. Okay, the matter is, what is the path to take you there? That's all.
Wow, was his first word stock market or something? Wow, so you really practice what you preach when it comes to...
I do, and I think for almost every birthday of his, we try and give him some stocks rather than only a toy or a clothes or a trip. We try and give him some stocks. So over a period of time, they will compound and maybe he'll have something of value when he's 18 or 20.
Oh, he will be very happy when he's 18
If
or
they
20.
work out, yes.
Yeah,
we don't know about that.
But. So if you could sit across 20-year-old Ramesh Damani, what would you tell him?
I think the two lessons that my mentors taught me would be great lessons, that you have to put money on the table and you have to be bullish on India because the opportunity is extraordinary. It took me a time. See, I'm more cynical by nature. So it takes me time to have this unabashed bullishness or to believe in a business over 10, 20, 30 years. If you look at the market over the last 30, 40 years period, who have been the people who have really prospered and built, great fortunes in India? The people who believed in the market, believed in stocks, believed in compounding, believed in great businesses. People who've tried to take shortcuts have all ended up in places that you don't want to end up with. Made money, lost money, the arbitrage, the jobbers, the speculators, the traders, the charlatans. They've all really been relegated by the market. But people who stuck to buying a great business because it's available cheap and sitting on the rear, not trying to put it to an institution or doing anything nefarious, have really made out like bandits. I mean, the index itself in my lifetime has gone from 800 to 80,000.
Yeah.
That's 100x on the index. What individual stocks have done is unfathomable almost. So
Absolutely.
there's a great opportunity to make money legitimately.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.